Mary and Rick, it's a pleasure to meet you both. Today we really want to talk about the issue of social isolation and collaboration among the various agencies that deal with social isolation. So maybe you can talk or begin to talk about the past and then talk about the present and then where you'd like to see things go in the future.
Around social isolation, a lot of agencies would do their own work. Now we're seeing agencies working together more to try and come up with solutions. We did a research study 10 years ago around the seniors, looking at the whole aspect of what do they need in order to age in place. 25% of the seniors that were part of that study, which was about 100, identified social isolation as being an issue.
Interesting. So that was the past. That's a little bit of the research you've done. Besides from the seniors, is this an issue with other age groups? Or?
Absolutely. I think social isolation happens across the entire population, and it happens for many reasons. And so, you can live in a community, you can live right next door to 100 people and still feel that social isolation depending on what's going on in your own life. It can be from retirement, it can be from mental health and addictions issues, from physical issues, mobility issues, hearing loss. It can happen from life situations. A lot of our new moms feel a lot of social isolation given that they're suddenly in their homes in a new role that they've never been in before and are grappling with. And
COVID certainly hasn't helped that situation. So.
COVID has intensified the feelings of isolation profoundly, yes.
Is this an issue with youth as well? Have you found any experiences with that?
Yeah, certainly with youth, particularly with COVID and not attending school regularly has been a real issue with many children, youth in general. It's reflective of just the nature of the beast in terms of being at home, being on the internet. You may have, 300 friends or 400 friends on Facebook or Snapchat or whatever app you're using, but are they really friends? It's not the same as a face-to-face friendship.
Yeah, clearly. So is this still an issue today? It's not just the past. It's something that's happening within those various demographic groups within our community today.
Absolutely, and I think there are things we can do to help address the issues of social isolation. And as I mentioned, depending on what's going on with you personally, all those things can be in place and you can still feel that isolation. So I'm not sure it's something that will ever go away, but I think it's something that we are becoming more aware of and looking at how we can respond to that. A huge issue for the seniors was the loss of their seniors drop-in center over 10 years ago. So that meeting place for seniors to come together and know that people are looking out for them and will call if they don't show up and will be there to help them really intensified the isolation that we've been seeing in seniors, and that is something that we have been working on.
Good. If you had unlimited resources, what would you want to see happen in the future?
Well, we have a big one. If anybody wins the huge lottery, it's our desire to build an elders complex in Sooke, and that would have affordable housing, so subsidized housing for our elders. We would be, having off-reserve Indigenous elders there, so it would be across the board, as well as having the seniors drop-in center on the main floor and other services that will help keep seniors in their home for longer and decrease those issues of isolation. We have about 17 agencies that we'd be working in collaboration with to make this work. So it would be creating a community, and we're hoping to have some intergenerational work happening as well, bringing our youth in to make those connections with our seniors as well.
If you had a single message for people who perhaps have not been involved in social agencies in town over the last few years, what would that message be?
Come to our AGMs. All of us have an annual general meeting. Ours is certainly open to the public. It should be happening, we hope, in June this month, or maybe July.
Or August.
Or August. As we, there's a lot of reporting that has to happen, and we need board approval for that. But it'll be happening within the next few months. And every other agency, nonprofits, in the same boat. We all have AGMs, and I think the vast majority are open to the public. So attend. The meetings right now will be virtual, and you'll get a Zoom link or some video conferencing link and participate, even if you're just listening to what's happening. AGMs are, there's usually a chair's report that goes over what's been happening in the last year and maybe talks about the future a little bit as well. The future is very bright. We have so many volunteers in this community. As Mary said, we'd like to think of ourselves as the volunteer capital of Canada. There's more than 200 nonprofit agencies here with many people participating. So join us. It's rewarding. It's an opportunity to give back from yourself to the community and participate.
Mary, Rick, thank you very much.